So I remember when I first started my reading journey way back when, and I was reading my first ever book, and I was getting really into this habit. It really unlocked a philosophy for me, and it really unlocked a realization for me that I'm not as smart as I possibly could be. I am not growing as much as I could be. I am not embracing new ideas and getting more points of views and being more open-minded. So prior to reading, I was very, very set in my ways. I was very like, hey, nope, this is how we do things. This is the way we're going to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is how we're doing things. And that led me to become very, very unsatisfied with life. That led me to become very bored and very just, that feeling of being stuck. And for the longest time, I didn't know what that actually was. And it wasn't until I picked up the habit of reading until I realized it's simply because I'm not being open-minded and I'm not embracing new ideas. See, the thing is you are not as smart as you possibly, or you could be. Even some of the most smartest people on earth, people who read like 1,000 books every year, they are not as smart as they could be. And I don't mean that in like a very mean sense, like I'm calling you stupid and I'm calling you rude. I'm saying that you should be consistently seeking knowledge. You should be consistently wanting to grow. You should be very open-minded and embrace new ideas, because if you aren't, you might fall into the same position that I was in, where I was just very set in my ways, very open or very closed-minded, and just very unsatisfied and very stuck with my life. So no matter who you are, whether you are a rich millionaire, whether you're somebody who reads 1,000 books a year, whether you're just some random guy who hasn't even read like I was a few years back, open your mind. Start to embrace new ideas. Start to think about other people's points of view and start to really digest more knowledge. Because like I said, the problem is if you don't, you're going to be set and you're going to be stuck in your ways, and you're going to be in the same position I was 3 years ago, when I was very unsatisfied, very stuck, and frankly, very unhappy. So you might be asking, what is the best way to start embracing new ideas, to start gaining more knowledge, to start growing and improving yourself? That is reading. That is books. Now, it sounds like very, very, I want to say vague, but I want you to think about something. Think about who you are right now, the kind of person you are, the values that you have, the character that you are. Think about the kind of person that you are. Think of you. Every single belief and value and idea you have, where did you get it from? Chances are you got it from an authority figure, whether that was your parents, whether that was your teachers, whether that was the school system, whether that was the government, the country you live in, who your friends were, whatever influence you had in the past shaped your ideas and shaped your beliefs. And who you are now was defined by outside influences and the knowledge that you gained. So when you pick up reading and when you start reading to gain knowledge, you really start to embrace new ideas. You really start to think differently, and you really start to embrace new ideas and become a better version of yourself and become a more improved version of yourself. So the best way to do that is through reading, because you need to be consistently gaining more knowledge. You need to be consistently absorbing different points of view. You need to be consistently absorbing different ideas, philosophies, whatever it might be. You need to be consistently absorbing more knowledge, and the best way to do that is through books. But you also do got to be careful that you got to be reading certain kinds of books, because here's the thing. There's millions of books out there. There's thousands of good pieces of literature, but some of it isn't really going to help you improve, isn't going to really help you grow. Like, my girlfriend reads, but she reads a lot of books for like entertainment, or like she reads it for like the storyline, which is perfectly okay. There is no shame in reading for the sake of entertainment. But if you're the kind of person who's watching this, you're the kind of person who wants to read for the sake of growing and improving, absorbing more knowledge, changing who you are. So you got to find books that will benefit you, I want to say intellectually. So what do I mean by that? Well, find books that either help you improve in life, help you grow in life, or books that'll help you change your point of view. Like books that I could think of that'll help you change your point of view. Let's say, for example, you have a like strict political point of view. Like, okay, this is my political view. This is what I believe. This is how I believe a country, a society, a people should be ran, whatever. Let's say you're stuck in a very strict point of view or political point of view. Or it could even be a religious point of view, whatever it might be, the way that you think. And let's say you're set in your ways because that's what your parents said. But you're open-minded and you embrace new ideas. Let's say you read a book that opposes your religious or your political ideas and your ideologies, and you read that book and you really start to think, wow, I cannot believe that idea exists and that has been tried in this point in history. I think I might actually gear more towards that. And you might really just fine tune the way you think and fine tune the ideas. So, like I said, start reading books that help you improve your intellect and benefit you. And it even could be, like I said, I've said in videos before, reading books that help you improve in areas of life that you are the weakest at, or read books that you're passionate about because you'll gain new ideas. So, the bottom line is this. As a person, as an individual, if you want to lead a happy life, a fulfilled life, a life where you're satisfied, you need to constantly be learning. You need to constantly absorb more knowledge. You need to be constantly growing as an individual. And the best way to do that is through books. But more specifically, find books that will help you improve intellectually, or find books, like I said, that help you in weak areas of life or books that you're passionate about. If you do this, it'll be phenomenal. In 2, even 3 years, you will grow into a completely different person. You'll become more satisfied, just like how I am now, and just like how I've been in parts of the past. Try this, embrace new ideas with books, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed.